Thank you so much. That, as your program notes, that was Putting on the Ritz, written by Irving Berlin. When I found that arrangement, which is actually arranged by a good friend of mine, he works with the brass band that I play with in Rome, Georgia, Chris Sharp, fantastic composer and arranger. Once I saw that he had that, I was like, oh, I can't play Putting on the Ritz and Putting on the Ritz. It's fantastic. So that one's been a fun one of ours. This next piece, I always have an idea or a thought that some of the best jazz band pieces have the strangest names. Like that's just the way it is. When you go to a concert, symphonic band, whatever, it's overture in E sharp minor, opus 12, blah, blah, blah. And then we have Black Sugar and so on and so forth. So it's a really fun name. I had never heard of this piece. And then Gavin, Mr. Gavin Brock, fantastic trombone player of ours, came up to me, I think it was last semester. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Came up to me last semester, he's like, Mr. McDonald, you gotta listen to this piece, we gotta play this. And it's hard, it's really hard. But they've been cooking with it, especially this past couple of weeks. It's gonna feature, if you're wondering why he suggested we play this, it's gonna feature our trombone section. They're straight fire with it. No cap, as the children say. Thank you, that's right. So I think you're going to enjoy this one. It's a whole lot of fun. We have several solos in the band that you'll hear in this piece, especially with the trombone section. So we hope you enjoy Black Sugar. So that piece, obviously a whole lot of fun. Composed for professional musicians.